What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Two Kims,
One pod.
No Relation. Oh, are we not doing that anymore?
We are. I just forgot.
We got to come up with something different, I think,
Yeah.
because, all right, let's on the fly try to come up with a new intro.
Okay.
All right. 안녕 여러분. What if I went straight like Korean Fabi?
Yeah.
Like, 어머,
어머, 오빠.
오빠야, 언니.
You know, I got a request to be. This is like the thing when you don't have a regular job in show business. People are just like, "What about this gig?" And so I got a request to be a translator for a all-girl cake pop group.
Cake pop group?
K-pop.
Or K-pop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So an all-girl K-pop group
Uh-huh.
that would be coming to the United Center.
Is it Blackpink?
No. It's they would have they have their own people. They have in-house at this point with Blackpink. They all speak English basically.
So it's a lesser known K-pop group?
That are going to be doing something at the United Center, and we're like,
that's huge.
Yeah, and so they're like, well, do you want to do the translation? And I was like, I don't think my Korean is good enough. Like, unless they are doing their homework and asking their mom what they want to eat for dinner, I don't feel confident to talk about their hopes and dreams. You know what I mean?
Wait, so what do you mean translate? Like they're going to be speaking in Korean at United Center and you're going to be next to them?
No, for the
translating in English?
Press.
Oh. There's no way you can do that.
No, absolutely
There's no way. I know more Korean than you, and there's no way I can do that.
Yeah, like...
No.
No.
But that'd be so funny to watch you sit there and just make things up. Like, we're so happy to be here. We are virginal and saving ourselves for our oppas in marriage.
Like, you know what I mean? Like anything that came up like pertaining to real like business or about the industry, I'd just be like,
right.
They
and
like
then
it?
The worst part I think would be if they were saying something in Korean like, 미국에 와서 너무 재밌어요. Like that you can easily do. Like,
easily.
Oh, hi. I'm here in
America.
Yeah,
they're having a good time. They love it here.
Oh, my A+ translation.
Thank you.
Right now, imagine I'm the press and you're translating back to this group. Okay. Oh, hi, Monster X or whoever this group is. Right. It's an all-girl group like Red Velvet. What's your favorite thing about Chicago?
Chicago의 favorite thing.
They're like, girl, we took remedial English. We're fine.
No, I would just like say it back to them.
That is so funny. Just slower English.
English, like
Chicago
favorite
thing.
That's like half the time when I'm translating English to
your
my
mom?
parents. Yeah, my mom. I'm just like saying the same thing with an offensive accent.
Yeah, just slower and like in an accent that's not even theirs. No. Like you're going more offensive and more racially biased than your mom could ever sound. You're going, 엄마, 시카고의 칭찬 favorite 뭐야? Like, girl, we didn't need the ching chong in there. It sounded bad already.
They love it here.
They love it. you just nod like they're having a great time.
Love Garrett's They love Garrett's popcorn and Navy Pier.
Yeah. They're partial to Lumong Natties, but Uno's is a little too salty. You're just making shit up about yourself.
So, I mean, like,
Jenny just had a daughter.
It's just about me.
Oh, speaking of, how was your Peggy? How was your daughter's Peggy?
Oh my gosh, Peter!
Congratulations,
Thank you.
happy Peggy, which means 100th day
Yes.
for Korean babies. We celebrate the first 100 days of life because most kids die before that. So and it's 2023. Most kids are living past 100 days.
And we continue to celebrate any excuse to give out duck. Any excuse. But
that's like celebrating didn't get polio. Like, bitch, no one got polio for 100 years. Why are we celebrating this?
No smallpox, fingers crossed. I mean, it is funny because even in the 6 years since I had my son's pig ear, like the pig ear industry has grown so much. Like
tell me about that. Is it like the wedding industry but smaller?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's so much more
into
niche.
it.
And so when my son was getting his pig ear, there were like a couple of providers on Etsy that had pig ear centric paper goods, but nothing.
Oh my God, they have pig ear centric goods.
Yes,
like plates and napkins and stuff. Oh my
exactly.
God, so cute.
And like little cake toppers or cupcake stuff like for your duck, and like you put it in. It's very cute. It's very cute.
Oh
so
my
6 years ago, that's the kind of like the lay of the land for the pig ear industry, right? There weren't that many hanboks available, or they're very expensive because they're coming from Korea. And the paperless post invitation I sent to people, like I had to configure, and like I imported a Korean language plugin so that I could have it in Korean. You know what I mean? Like it was like
you're like, I need a separate translator for this.
Exactly, and like in order for like the Korean text on the computer, like usually if you want Korean text, you have to get the plugin, you translate it, in the keyboard,
the Korean keyboard,
and then you translate it, and then you copy and paste that, and so whatever font it comes out, that's a font. There's no other font.
Right.
Now on Paperless Post, there's an entire section devoted to pig ear. There is a subcategory.
It's a category
inside of the baby drop-down menu. There's first birthday. It's like all the birthdays. There's a specific one for Tol and a specific one for pig ear.
No way.
I'm telling you.
There's not that many Koreans in America using Paperless Post, but this is how much they're spending.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
right. The Paperless Post industry, Paperless Post knows who's fucking paying for those coins. There's everyone else is using
how
the
do you
free
make money on
option.
Paperless Post?
Because not every single option on Paperless Post is free. So if you want like a higher end, or you want a specific design in Paperless Post, you have to pay for it. That's what I'm talking about. These Koreans are out here flexing on Paperless Post.
These Korean Americans are getting like the uber top tier trim on the post that comes out of the envelope.
I mean, truly, like think about it. Like y'all are like you guys are using your Deloitte dollars very well. Like
Deloitte for Tor, they really are. And they're not only doing that, they're like, oh my God, I don't even know if this is real, but is there like Louis Vuitton like branded? Because these Koreans are gonna be like, oh, it's my baby's pig ears, so we got to get the Gucci out, the Gucci invitation.
I mean, truly, like it is wild to see, like in 6 years to have it change so drastically, and not only that, but to have an American company respond to like the need inside of the marketplace.
It cannot be that many individual people. It's got to be under like 10,000. Right?
We are such.
How many of us are out there?
We're such a small part of the population. I mean, there's not even you know what I mean? Like we don't even know and especially of the people that are of the Koreans, how many are actually having children at a rate?
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, just a quick glance at my Facebook not my Facebook, but Instagram.
Yes.
Meta company pages. I am seeing a lot of my Koreans popping out these kids.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
All Koreans that are not in our industry are having kid after kid after kid.
Too many kids.
You're doing both.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck you're up to. You need to calm down. But all my friends in like finance and nursing and consulting, etc., New York finance people, they have 2 to 3 kids and a picket fence.
Yes.
That's like they've like, it's almost sad to see because they have completely drank the Kool-Aid of our parents' dreams and wishes.
Yes.
And they're living that out now, the
Yes.
American dream.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to make this American dream come true. And I
Yeah.
see my friends like redesigning their houses, and they're like second mortgage and blah blah blah. And I'll say, like, we're all 40 now because we're all Pashivinian, like
Yeah.
82. But I feel so fucking behind.
Yes.
Because my friends are on their like second houses, third kids, fourth divorce. They are like their life. They're going through their milestones, and I'm like, I
Yes.
haven't hit one yet. I have not.
I mean,
I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
It is really intimidating because you're right. Like, they've bought into this is the part that is so scary, that because you and I very specifically opted out, we saw this possibility, we saw this future, and we said no. And we know and you know this, Peter, a lot of people, our friends that are like, we're somewhere in the middle, they didn't opt out. They pushed the middle button that was, what if? Maybe. Right? And then there are the church people that bought in always. They were like, they're going to have this life regardless of whatever information, whatever, no matter how clearly God isn't around. They were like, no, we're buying in, you know? They were, in spite of the evidence in front of them, they were saying no. But there were a larger faction of, especially people our age and younger, of inside of the community that were in the middle. They were waffling. They're like, they pushed the button, maybe. Mm-hmm. And now at this age, you're seeing them kind of living it out, and a majority of them seem to be coming to the conclusion that it was correct.
At least on social media.
Yes.
My friends look happy.
Yeah. I mean, even
my friends look really happy on social media. There's not one friend that's like, self-deprecating. Oops.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
even
not one person out there, out of my friends that's not doing comedy,
yes,
is like showing anything bad on social media.
And even if when you talk to them, I will say about a larger majority of them, in spite of like any sort of hiccups or normal trials and tribulations with living a life and growing old, they all seem to be relatively happy, having bought in. Like
what the fuck is wrong with us?
This is what I mean. Like, what
is
if we
wrong
were wrong?
with us?
What if we were wrong?
We were wrong. Clearly. Look at us. We're 40 and screaming into microphones from 2 different houses. What the fuck are we doing? This is not good.
We've made a mistake.
You have 2 dependents. Human dependents. I have an animal that might die if I don't make enough money. I'm waiting on fucking writing residuals right now. This is a hard life. I think I made a mistake. I need to turn back. I feel like I'm on that show Lost. We need to go back. I need to go back to tech.
It is. I mean, there's like a part of me where I'm just like, that is, I will say, something I'm grateful for. The perspective that I'll be able to give my children is that when they are teens and they have that opportunity to say no and opt out. My parents they had no perspective, right? They had only opted in, and even having opted in, they were living a horrible life, right? But they had opted into the idea of the American dream, but they had reasons to think that they were at fault for why they were not able to live the American dream, right? Like, I don't speak the language, kanana has like, you know what I mean? Like, my dad is my parents are obsessed with making bad business decisions, you know? I mean, like, it's almost like as if they're fans of losing money. And so, like...
they're addicted to debt.
They're addicted to it. Anytime they have a little bit, they're in the green, they're like, oh, this doesn't feel right. And
let's get rid of this.
Let's get rid of this. Let's buy $500 worth of lotto tickets instead. Like, they're obsessed.
Oh, speaking of, I just heard a brilliant idea for lotto tickets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gambling alert.
This is not, I know, gambling alert. This is not financial advice. Beep, 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 beep. Do not sue us. But my friend's dad, who is a Danish man, so he's from that area, right? So those Danes, Fjordic countries, Norwegian, Swedish, like that area is very, very much known for being emotionally stunted.
Yes.
And financially independent
Yes.
and very versed.
Yes.
So they know how to make money, but they don't know how to apologize.
Yes.
Right.
They cannot hug a child, but they can hug a bag of money. Yes.
Yes, and they will set that child up for success financially.
Yes.
But
Not
emotionally ruin them.
Yes.
Yes. So this father, not that he's like that to his daughter, but like they're just known to be good with money.
And very withholding. Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
It's true. Like they're generous with money. Skipping on any sort of love in that way. Yeah.
So all to say, I trust his finances.
Yes.
So he said, if you're going to buy a lotto ticket, the chances of you winning are infinitesimal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you might as well buy the numbers, the same numbers, twice or 3 times.
Okay.
Because most people think if I buy a lot of numbers, it'll increase my odds. But the amount your odds are increasing by putting different numbers, a lot of different numbers, is not that much more.
Right.
Right? You're still not going to win the lottery.
Yes.
But you might as well play double the numbers so that if you win the lottery by any chance, you win double. And in that case, if you do win the lottery and you have to split it, you have 2 tickets versus, Joe Schmo in Florida has 1. So the payout is more to you than this other person. Now, of course, there's that idea of like, wait, but like how many tickets and doubles should you buy? That all depends on how fucked up your financial system is already.
Okay. So like if you're more in debt, buy more tickets.
Boom. There you go. Because bitch, you ain't getting out. So,
Just go all in on
keep
this.
digging. Yeah, maybe you'll end up in China.
Maybe
you'll end up in fiscal China.
Which is good. Which is much better.
Which is better. I mean, they own us.
Yes.
They own all. I mean, do you know how many houses are in California that are sitting empty because the Chinese have bought it outright cash?
Yeah.
There are entire neighborhoods.
Yes.
And like developments
Yeah.
that are empty. I don't know what they're doing with this.
They're
What are they
waiting.
going to do? They're waiting for what? For us to collapse and then just take over Orange County?
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready for my Chinese overlords. I always thought it was going to be robot overlords taking
No.
over or like alien overlords. No. Those don't exist. It's China.
Yes.
Trust.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The fact that they sent over a balloon and we shot it down and we haven't even like talked about what to do about it.
Ever again.
Like no sanctions.
No.
We just like cut a trip short from like one of the secretaries or something. We're like, that'll show them not to spy on us. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Are we even a sovereign country anymore? Are we still a colony? I don't understand what our American power is left.
I mean, it's all just laughable. I think American power is mostly in our culture now.
Our soft power.
Our soft power, like that's all it is. It's just that. It's Mariah Carey.
It's-
That's our biggest
it's K-pop?
ambassador. Yeah. Like we gotta turn out some more hits. We gotta ask DJ Khaled what's up. We gotta ask Timberland.
Oh
to
my
keep
God!
taking it.
Not
I mean,
Khaled. Not Khaled.
We're
The best music. He's so cringe.
He is so cringe.
Ew.
By the way, did you watch the Chris Rock special?
I clipped it. I did not watch. Did you watch it live?
Yes.
I couldn't watch it live because I was out. But like,
Okay.
I came back and went on Twitter and watched it.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, and I read the reviews.
Okay.
But I want to talk to you about this.
Okay.
Because I'm of 2 minds. But go for it.
Well, first of all, I started watching. I caught it. I didn't catch the entire live cast.
The pre-show, post-show stuff?
Post-show stuff. So the pre-show.
So you didn't catch Ronnie Chang?
No.
Okay.
How did he do?
I don't know, but I want to watch him because I like Ronnie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say the pre-show was so cringe.
Really?
It was.
What kind of cringe? Like old men out of pocket type stuff? Like crotchety old men?
It was like watching live television from the 90s.
Huh?
Yeah. Like, you know, people just like they're looking off camera, people like not sure what's going on, like the jokes being so flat, like
Oh no!
like this is happening live. There's a dimension to it, and it was just so flat, so cringe. It really was very bad, and I'm glad I only watched.
Meanwhile,
a part of it.
they did it on Saturday of all days. Why would you do it on Saturday?
I mean,
why
all of
do you
it.
want to come? I guess because they didn't want to compete with The Last of Us.
I mean, what? I don't know. I mean, like what?
I wouldn't want to compete with Last of Us either because literally everyone's watching that live.
I mean, I'm not watching it, but I mean, like it's just all of it was so.
You're
bizarre.
not watching The Last of Us?
No.
OMG. You are missing out on some queer.
Really?
Oh yes, The Last of Us has been gay as fuck. The entire Unji, especially episode 3 was, you've heard about this, the gay episode.
No.
And then, oh my God, Unji.
I'm telling you, my TikTok
Oh my
algorithm is all fucked up
God.
because of this Haley Selena Gomez thing, and I need it to stop.
Oh, we need to talk about Haley Selena. Okay.
Okay.
Back.
TikTok,
We're going
stop
back to
giving
Chris
it
Rock.
to me. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Please
like to
stop.
talk.
Please stop.
I'm
learned
Team
all I need to
Selena.
learn.
I'm never gonna change.
I've learned all I can. I have nothing. There's nothing new that you can tell me. Please stop.
No. Yeah.
Turn the
Anyway,
page.
now that TikTok knows, now that China is aware that you are not a fan, let's go back to Chris Rock. So the beginning was a little cringe.
Yes.
It felt like Netflix is trying something live. That's not their specialty. Bitch, you do British Bake Off. Stick to what you're good at.
Let's have some quick cut twos. Like all of it was just so bizarre. I mean, the people were. It was just all so.
Sounds like it wasn't directed correctly.
And like I just think that people that were on the show weren't really clear what was happening. It was all just so bizarre. And like
Were we talking about like Arsenio Hall?
yeah, like all of it. It was shocking to see Arsenio, by the way.
He's back doing comedy apparently
Yes.
because Chris Rock got him back on comedy.
Yes, and he's like he must be doing the road with him or whatever. But it was just like all.
Okay.
And it was just it was also.
It was nice to see some colorful people and not just Chris Rock surrounded by 4 white dudes,
Well,
per usual.
Okay, so put a pin in that. So yes, it was very exciting to see some of these people. Exciting to see them have a platform, but it was just very cringe. Outside of that, it was there were so many like flowers for Chris leading up to the special.
Yes.
So
like,
many
good luck,
people.
Chris.
Good luck,
This is
love you,
monumental.
like you're the GOAT. Like all these things, and it felt like because everyone knew this was going to be his slap back
Of course.
at Will,
and we've been edging for this
yes,
slapback.
and we all knew this, and it felt like a guy that comes to the after school fight. You know, when the bully
By the willow tree.
But he brings everybody. Like he didn't show up.
All his back.
Yes.
Remember that term back in the day?
Yes, I got my
Yeah,
back.
you got
my
back?
back. You got back. Like, that's what he brought. He brought all of his back. He brought his
The gang.
Yes, and that he needed to flex and show people that it's not just him, but it's like the industry.
Everyone.
It's everybody that does comedy. It's everybody that is adjacent to comedy. It's just regular famous
Anyone
people.
cool.
Yeah.
Anyone fun.
Anyone like who's in the moment. This is like someone like he is.
Like
relevant.
Arsenio Hall.
Yes, and it's just like, but it's just like he's a straight up
But
hype
it's like
man.
icon. It's
Yes,
yeah,
but he's also a
exactly.
hype man, like very classic hype
Right.
man, and it's
Right.
and so it's like he brought the entire school, and it's just a bully.
Yep.
So
It was too much.
It was.
You had-
Felt a little like
Yeah.
if you could handle this on your own, if this was,
It's like if you just went up to him and slapped him back, then I would have been a little more like on your side.
that's so much more powerful, right?
But you brought your Hyungs.
Yes.
You brought your cousins from New Jersey.
And the thing is, like, you understand the impulse because it was so devastating, right? To be, it's devastating. And so,
Devastating.
And all of it, just like the public nature of it, the conversation and the discourse
the
afterwards.
fact that it was at Oscars.
All of it. So, I understand the emotional weight and need for it, but it was very clear to me that's kind of why this was happening, why it was necessary.
It was extremely personal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so to bring it like that, and it felt so ego driven, like so much in contrast to what Tambourine was, which was his last special. Right, which felt very quiet, and it was very revealing
reflective.
and like reflective, and also even the cadence with which Chris spoke was very different than all of his other specials.
Yeah,
it was not. He was not stalking.
He wasn't
around.
stomping around.
Yes, he wasn't yelling. He wasn't going, and this, like that voice that he does.
Yeah.
Like he didn't employ
Give
that.
me the big piece of chicken.
Yes. Like, I mean, all of it, like the iconic parts of his persona, his Chris Rock persona, were really not in.
It was stripped away for Tambourine.
It was very much stripped away. And with this, with the hype, with the everybody and the GOAT and the swagger of the entire event, that it's live, that people were counting down to it. Like, even as a Netflix comedy special, when's the last time anyone's talked about it this way?
Why was it in Baltimore? Of all places.
Now,
is it because that's okay?
Yes.
Is it what I heard it was?
That's what I've heard what it was.
Because it was Jada Pinkett's hometown? That is so fucking petty.
In a delicious way. But
anyway.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I will say it's also a very black city. Like, you know, it's a place that has like this tradition of it. And the part that's very bizarre to me is that why was the pre-show then in LA? Like, all of it just was
I
like
have no
chaotic.
idea. I did not understand what that was for, or like, like they weren't there with him in Baltimore.
No,
they were just like
in the belly
on a
room.
couch. Ugh, so weird.
Like, all of it is just like a little. You know,
it's like you're doing too much.
And if you have to explain so much of it to the audience, it's going to be confusing.
Yeah.
You know, the pre-show and the post-show, it's just like, let's just see the goddamn thing.
Yeah, just show us the goods.
And why does this have to be a 3-hour thing? Like,
this isn't Sunday Night Football. I don't need all this like commentary and like.
Honey, you're not the Super Bowl. Like, this is not. No one's trying to do this with this. It was like very bizarre, and like, to me, Netflix, why are you doing that? Why are you hemorrhaging money like this? Why are you choosing to do this?
Because that must have been very expensive.
Yes.
To coordinate all those people live at the same time and pay them to be there and
time difference, like all of it.
Yeah. The different crews that you have to do in different cities. Like, yeah, that seems crazy. But I'm sure this is what Netflix like banked on. As far as like, we're going to differentiate ourselves from the other streamers.
This is a cultural moment. Yes.
We do comedy specials.
Yes.
We have a lock on comedy specials, and we're going to be doing it live for the first time.
Yes.
Like no one else.
Yes.
And you watched it live.
Yes.
And it did not deliver.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I would say as overall, as a special, it was good. Okay. I want to see a pre-taped version.
Did he mess up? I know he messed up like one joke, the concussion joke.
Yes. Like,
did he mess up other things? Because he was supposed to say emancipation or something like
concussion.
That, right?
He fucked up the punchline.
Yeah.
But that was the culmination of him being nervous almost the entire time.
No way. You could feel him.
I could feel it.
No.
I mean, and I don't know if it's just me because I haven't spoken to any non-comics about it. If it was just me being able to pick up on it. Like him.
He's been doing this on the road for like almost a year though.
I don't think in this order. And it was clear.
Oh, really?
I think
you think he started off with the slap or something?
I don't know.
Like he addressed the slap earlier? Because he waited till the end for this.
Yes.
Right?
I don't know. Because the actual thesis of the special of selective outrage, very good way to introduce and have the final bit be about Will Smith. It was a very artful way of doing it. It was smart and it was nuanced and it was like a good way of like making your argument. Good. But it felt like he was remembering his set.
Oh no.
And
no, like he was a little behind it.
a little bit behind it, correct.
Oh no.
And I could tell because there was a moment, because it's fucking live. The person or like the voice I was supposed to bring him out paused a second and went around again, and it was like, and you're all here. Like it didn't. There was a hiccup at the beginning of the special, bringing him out.
Oh my god!
And so he like you could see him looking around and being like, "Is that me? Is that me?"
God,
and
no
then,
way.
And then he said it again, and then it was kind of like onto the stage, and you see him trying to settle into the moment once he gets out there.
Oh no!
Because he's trying to stay in the moment and settle in, and he doesn't get there, and he takes the mic and he has to start. And so then immediately,
do you think this was like a second show? Like he did a show before and then he's taping the second show, or was it just like boom, we're going?
It's boom, we're going.
Fuck. I mean, I would be like, my mouth would be dry.
Yes.
My hands would be fucking sweating. Like my ass wet. Like I could not.
His ass was wet. You could tell. Also,
you could see his ass.
No, you could tell that his ass was wet.
He was walking around like his ass was.
It was wet. Yeah, and like, and also his outfit very distractingly bad.
Oh yeah, and it was so bright.
It was just so
and
bizarre.
those mirrors in the back. What the fuck
my
was
gosh.
the mirrors in the back? Why did you do that?
One of my friends was like, he looked both old and young. Like he looked, He looked
a 13-year-old trying to be in his dad's clothes or something.
It was just, it looked crazy, and I don't know why no one was like, no. This is too fussy. There's like stuff in the back, like all of it was so fucking weird. No one was around him. No one like did a check. It was just very bizarre, and that's what I mean. It's like, I want to see a taped special with him fully in the voice, because he was dipping in and out because he was nervous.
Yeah,
so he wasn't present, and he wasn't employing the persona the entire time. He would slip in and out. And it was just like clear it was because he was trying to remember the set and what was next.
And that's going to be the one that lives on Netflix?
Is it?
For in perpetuity?
No.
What, they're going to replace it with a different set?
He has to. This one is not good.
It was live. That was the whole point of the thing, is that like you're gonna see all how the sausage gets made. That's the whole like cool thing about watching something live, is that like it could go wrong.
Yes, and it did.
And it did. But that, I mean, there's something cool about that though, like that we're not seeing the polish, like we're seeing the roughness of it.
Yes.
But
what it's like to have a comedian have an off night.
But Chris Rock. But that being Chris Rock, and that being such a like lauded special, and a final response to a cultural reset moment a year ago.
Yes.
That breaks my heart that like it didn't go spectacular. Because you have been this has been your response that you've been edging us with for a year.
Yes.
And then it kind of just went like that's it.
I mean, I will say there were also some moments in the special that were a little like, we've seen this before, Chris. Like almost verbatim.
He's treaded before.
Yes.
And I read that about like his like divorce or whatever.
Yes.
Like his life after divorce or something. Like it was like double treaded or something.
It was a little bit. Yeah. And there are other parts about like stuff about like men and women, things where like we've seen this before, almost verbatim. And the thing is, like, I could see it in the setup.
It was like if ChatGPT wrote a Chris Rock set,
like that. I mean, but the thing is, like, I don't know. That's what I was saying. Like, I wonder if how long he had worked this exact set, because it felt like he was remembering it. So that means that if he's leaning back on stuff, that he must be using older material, like rehashed in this way, like that.
Do you think he got nervous and went back to an old thing instead of like doing his new set? Like, is there any way that...
I don't know. I mean, there was. I don't know.
It's almost better if that was the case, instead of like, this is the set that you worked on all year, including these retread jokes.
Yes. So I hope. But like, that's what I mean. I want like a full version of him having it like tight and like a killer show, because the show and the set and the special itself was not bad. And like some of the concepts were good. Like his take on the Meghan Markle thing I thought was very funny and new. And I will say the final chunk about the Will Smith stuff was good. Like at that point, it was clear that was a part of the set he had done the longest.
Right. He was ramping up.
He was ramping up to it, because that was like clearly the part where he had kind of settled in. Even though he fucked up the joke, it was. I think he kind of fucked it up because he was finally settled in, so he got ahead of it a little.
Okay.
You know, because he was finally settling in. Because it was clearly, that was the part where he felt, the voice felt the strongest. His command of the words coming out of his mouth felt the strongest. Like, that was where he was.
Yeah. It's almost like he had that bit, the slap bit, and then he just needed a set before that.
Got it.
Yeah, to get to it.
Because there were other chunks that felt interesting and good. Like, even the stuff about his family that even was not fully done. I will say that was clearly not fully done because it really needed, I don't know, like it just needed a little more. But it was interesting and it was cool.
So was the point of the whole special that he's saying that like we shouldn't be selectively outraged, we should be outraged at everything?
I think there is nothing prescriptive. Or
don't be outraged at anything.
No, I think there's nothing prescriptive here. I think it's mostly the idea that, and we talk about this, is that, and everyone that talks about sort of the outrage online knows, is that you have to understand that this is happening and question it. Like, it's not only that you should always be outraged about everything, or you should be nihilistic and be outraged about nothing because the world is always going to be bad, but it's the idea that you contain both ideas in your mind, that you are able to handle and contain nuance, and that you see the world in all of its like sort of nuanced glory and not indict uniformly. The idea that you even can have this thought, two contrasting ideas in your head at the same time, that's the thing. That's what we need to have. That is the overarching thing, and he's having fun with selectiveness and who and what chooses to be outraged about who and what, right? Right. And that's interesting, and that's funny, and that's new. Like I mean, not new as in like no one's ever said that, but that's like an interesting take for him to have inside of this moment for him personally.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. I mean, I really think
it's overall cool that he did something like this that no one's done before. I think that's kudos, and what an exciting thing for a comic to be part of.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and watch the whole thing, but I've clipped so much of it already that like I've seen all the stuff that's like been raised to the top of Twitter or whatever, you know. Like, and it seems like people's responses are split. Like some people are like, "The GOAT, this is the best. He finally told Will Smith to fuck off." Like everyone's talking about the slap portion.
Yes.
No one is giving props for anything else he said.
Yeah.
Like any of the other jokes he said. Actually, he's being dragged for the Meghan Markle part.
Yes.
And some of the other parts for being too what's the right word for it? Like commonly tread.
It's been done, and also they think that he's being a little like old head about stuff, and
that's unavoidable.
He's old.
He is old. But here's the thing: there's one person that got old with grace, which is George Carlin.
Yeah,
like I mean, he's just started yelling at the end, but
all those poems, like
but like as far as like your like going from, I was reading this article about how comedians, the role of comedians historically has been used to speak truth to power and to poke fun at the powers that be.
Yes.
And to like disrupt and unearth, and that being our role. But so many top comedians are becoming the power, have become the organization that you want to, to rebel against. You've become the man. Like Chris Rock has become the man. Chappelle has become the man. Bill Burr, like all these people, like Louis C.K. Every one of these like top comedians has become the people, or at least adjacent. Like you're shouting out Elon Musk. Like, you're
that was not a great set.
How funny is it to side with a billionaire?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand that. Like why is that? Shouldn't it be, and maybe that's a sense of like where we are in our country, of like who cares about the underdog or what's right or wrong. I just want to be rich and get the fuck off this planet.
Yeah.
But it seems like, and the way like Dave Chappelle brought out Elon Musk and SF, and then everyone started booing him, and Elon had no idea that people didn't like him. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You didn't realize until you went to a Dave Chappelle concert or like whatever, a show, to realize that people didn't like you. Like, that's how small their worlds are.
Yes.
And surrounded by yes men they are. So when people like Chris Rock get blowback or Chappelle, they don't get it. They don't understand. They're like, oh, you're all being a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
All my friends tell me I'm the GOAT. All the people around me tell me I'm the greatest that's ever done this thing.
Yes.
And there's no better comedian than I am. I have the sharpest mind. I have the greatest takes. But that's because all your friends around you hype you up because they want your clout.
I mean,
they
success
just
is
want to be
dangerous.
you.
Success is dangerous.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
And I'm glad that I don't have it right now because I couldn't be screaming about it. I can't scream about success. Trust me, the day I become successful, you will never see me again. You won't hear from me. This podcast will be over.
It'll just be me. Like, if I ever become successful, I will 100% like become Howard Hughes. Like, I'm peeing into jars immediately.
Yeah.
Like the second that I actually have a clicker. The second I hit 1 billion, I'm like, get the jars ready. I'm starting to pee. I'm going Howard Hughes. I'm buying hotels and I'm never cleaning anything again.
Never again. I'm just gonna keep buying new places.
New clothes. I'm buying new clothes. I'm just take this off and then I'll burn it and I'll just buy another. I'm never doing anything ever again. I will be so fucking eccentric. There's gonna be a whole Wikipedia part of my in my entry that's gonna just be like eccentricities, and that'll be the drop down, and I'll just name all the weird things I did. She only drank her own urine. She was really into vitamins, like all those like weird things. That's gonna be a huge part of my Wikipedia entry. Guaranteed.
Yeah, all the stuff that later when you are successful won't make sense, but now it doesn't. Now it's just, fuck? What the
Who does this bitch think she is?
Another episode of SVU? Damn, what the fuck? She's twisted.
I mean, it is bizarre, like, how lauded and lofty so many of these, like, sort of... I mean, what essentially it is the Joker has become a king. Right?
Yeah,
exactly. The court jester is a goddamn king. And everyone's like...
the fool's in charge.
And everyone's like, I can't believe things are going so bad. Yeah!
No shit.
The clown is running the show.
We don't have an army. Our horses are dead. All we have is a 2-for-1 coupon for this guy's fucking stand-up special.
The fields are dead. I mean, it is like this... very tricky place. And this is the reason why nuance is so important. The idea that we teach people to always remain critical thinkers is very important. And I know that there are some celebrities... Who does that? There are celebrities that bow out. That understand... Because the thing is, if you think about the culture as a discussion... Right? Like, as a give and take between various people and...
a conversation.
Yes. Right? It's a give and take. And whenever someone starts to lord over the conversation, the culture becomes boring. The culture and the conversation becomes boring. It becomes one-sided. We've seen it time and time again. And that's why there's this unearthing and like everyone then turns against these over the people that are talking too much. And then all of a sudden there's a new crop of people having another discussion. And like it's important. But like, I mean, what's interesting to me is that like these people that are running the conversation at this point are all... Okay, so I was watching this podcast with Ashton Kutcher. He was talking about Punk'd. During the time, if you children, you don't know, look it up. There's a Wikipedia entry about it. And it's a time in our culture where celebrities would be punked by another celebrity called Ashton Kutcher, who is Mila Kunis's husband. And
Punk'd, it was a show that was remounted with Chance the Rapper. I don't think it did that well.
Because the culture is different now. I mean...
Yeah, it's like... Prank culture is gone. But anyway.
Not like, especially around celebrities. Like, it's just
celebrities.
Yeah. So he would punk celebrities. And he was talking about how on the show, like, it was this unspoken thing where, like, if they didn't want it out, he was like immediately burn it. He's like, there's just so much of this culture now where people are just like videotaping each other out on the street, and then they just
trying to catch each other,
and you're just like automatically uploading it to TikTok, and it's like, you know, we see this all the time, like people in their lowest moments, like kind of being dragged, and it's just like, you know, it was not like that before. And so he was saying that, like, you know, for them, it's part of the reason why there was so much good grace between them and the celebrities in the show was because they understood if they didn't want it out, they would immediately burn it. But he was saying that all the people that would ask to burn it, he was like, and it was typically the people that had the least sense of humor about it.
Of course.
Were comedians.
Like actors.
Were comedians.
Oh, what?
Yes. He said comedians tended to have the least sense of humor about being punked. And he had an insight on it, Peter, that was...
Oh, I think I know why. But
like,
tell me.
He was saying, because comedians want to be in on the joke.
Yes.
They don't ever want to be the butt of one.
Yes.
And
when they are the butt of one, they want to be the one that tells that joke.
Yes.
They don't want to be the other way around.
They want to have control.
Comedians are control freaks.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And being punked is absolutely losing control and you looking fucking foolish. But that's so... Okay, I totally get that. I feel like that's a type of comedian. Like a comedian like a Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
If he was punked, I bet he would love it. Right? Because it's like...
Because he's the most chaotic comedian.
That and like I don't think he cares about being embarrassed. Like me too. Like I don't really care about looking stupid or fugly or dumb or whatever because I know I'm not.
Yes.
And as long as it's gonna make people laugh, like I'm in. Like I'm good with that. But I can see that there are certain comedians that are so tightly controlled and their jokes are so specific and you know these.
Yes,
you know these type of comedians.
Yes.
They're not like us where we just kind of like fuck around and see the moment we write on stage or whatever. These are the people who like write their sentences out.
Yes.
And they have their timing perfect and blah, blah, blah. And kudos for you, but that type of personality, not great to prank. Not great to fuck around with.
Yes, I mean, you and I personally, people who have tried to surprise us are always delighted by our screams. I mean, we scream.
And we surprise them with our screams. They're the ones getting punked.
Yeah. Like, I mean, surely, like, I mean, I will gladly eat shit. Like literal shit, and I can't wait to eat dirt. Like I truly love to be debased.
Shit then dirt? Okay.
Okay. I mean, you know what I mean? I love to be debased. I am like, this is...
You get off on humiliation.
I get off on it. Like I can't wait.
Yeah.
I plan my life around being humiliated by my own failures, by being failed by others. Like I can't... That's
people
my life.
closest to you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like it's what it is, baby. But I thought it was
you and I do kind of have that thing where we both get off on a little bit of like humiliation and embarrassment, which is I think why we do comedy.
I mean, the meme is deep in us. The meme is deep.
Yeah.
we want to
we want a little spanking.
It is just very interesting. Like, I will say that there's a part of this is like about success, as I am currently like parenting children. I just wonder if my son's life is too good.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Like he needs more hardships, or he's going to turn into a killer.
Yes. Like something needs to happen. He needs to be humbled in a way that, like, I just remember.
Wait. He's going to turn 12 soon.
But that's so late to learn this lesson. I mean, like,
is it?
This bitch could not go. And
he's
somewhere
7.
he could not go somewhere and like translate for me something. Like if I didn't, I have no faith in him. He would not feel okay with that responsibility.
What do you mean translate? To what language?
I mean, if I didn't speak Korean, if I didn't speak English, for example, like I have no faith that this boy could do anything for me. He would, you know what I mean? He could not handle the situation. He couldn't figure out how to get into our own house. He wouldn't know where it is. I mean, there's no way he could make his own rice.
You've given him too easy of a life.
Like you made your own rice at 6, 7.
Exactly.
Right?
I had to,
yes.
or else I wasn't eating.
There was no dinner.
Yeah.
Like,
but you created a beautiful, perfect home for him.
Yeah, yeah, this bitch goes into the pantry and gets a Chewy bar, and he's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Like he's not knowing how to do things for himself, or like there's a part of me that just wonders.
But that's interesting. That's you and your husband created a perfect situation for him. Do you feel like you have to create some imperfections?
Yes.
Like
Because
what?
creating a perfect environment filled with love and safety has made him fucking soft. Like, you know, like it's made him a whiny little
He's
bitch.
not ready for survival.
There was a moment where he was complaining about how we didn't have pizza for dinner, and he was like, "But I wanted pizza," and I was like, "Yeah, like what are you
Okay.
talking about?" Yeah, and it was just there was this moment where I'm just like, "Bitch, like, do you understand if you said half the things you say to me
To your grandma.
to your grandma when she was in her prime?" When she was, you know, she was young and she still had some bounce in her step. Like you wouldn't have been able to.
She could throw a slipper 100 yards
throw a
and hit you
slipper.
right in the middle of the face.
Like there's no there's a back scratcher with your fucking name on it, bitch.
Yeah,
like,
bitch.
like you know what I mean? Like this is not a kid that's ever gonna be able to fill out his own.
Has he ever been hit? Has he
No.
ever been mem-med?
Hit? No,
Yeah.
only hit.
Spanked?
No, he's been hit with some surprise.
Some truths?
Yeah, some truths. He's been hit with some wonderful Legos. Like no, like
So he's never been corporally punished,
never.
right?
No.
Never. And that's not part of your ethos.
No, and he has been hit
This
with
is
some
dangerous.
harsh truths and
is
some harsh
dangerous.
words, which he
Yeah.
feels are so unfair. And like he was explaining to me, he's like, "But you don't understand. The way you're speaking to me makes me feel worse." That's what he said. He articulated it this way.
How dare you use therapy against
I
me?
know. And I was like,
No, bitch. Go to your room and write in your fucking journal.
Like I had to stop myself and be like, I don't care how you feel. Like this
Has
is
he ever been sent to his room?
Oh yeah. He's like, I mean,
okay.
but it's for him. It's wonderful in there. It's like
He's got everything he needs.
he gets everything he needs. Like he'll just go. But it's just this.
You got to come up with some pitfalls for him.
I mean,
or
there's just this reality that I mean, it must be exactly how our
Cut his
parents
hair.
felt. But it must have been how our parents felt. It's like they created and came to a country where everything is afforded them. Afforded you.
Compared to their shit country situation, they had everything, and we were like, "Why can't I go to the ski trip? Everyone's going to a ski trip, and I can't go on a ski trip." And my mom's like, "Bitch, I gotta clean this fish, and your dad ain't been working for 6 months.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up about this ski trip. You're gonna put on 4 sweaters and fucking go up the hill by yourself."
Like, yeah. Why can't you support my dreams? Like, what?
What dreams, bitch? I'm trying to survive.
Trying to survive
fuck?
this reality. What the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking about? And like, I have to really resist the impulse to just be like, you don't know how lucky you have it. Like this bitch lives in a
Because you're
house
gonna
with
sound just like your mom.
I know,
You
like,
will,
I'm saying-
you will sound like your mom. There's no avoiding it.
I mean, this bitch lives in a house with a set of stairs. Like, I just can't explain to him.
Bitch, multiple levels? Honey, we were one flat, one room.
One
And
room?
3 of us. Yeah.
Like that's.
I had to put a curtain in the living room when my brother was born so that I could be in like a 1/10 of the living room behind a curtain. My mom and dad are having prayer meetings outside, sitting on the floor, fucking Hallelujah, Chu Jesu Cristo. And I'm in my room fucking trying to read Boxcar Children. My room.
It's
my
truly-
part of the living room.
Like so much of my life was like dealt like when I look back on it, it was like so many drunk adults like just like coming over to a house, like the ojingo smell, like it's just like
Oh, yes.
anju, like you know, going back
The
and forth.
ojingo chipo, like that, they turn on the stove and then they put it on the flame to make it curl up a little
Yes.
bit, side to side, side to side.
And you, because you're the one taking out, you got to have like the crunchiest little bit, or like the, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I just remember like so many ajashis, like, and like, I mean, just how many people drove home from my parents' condominium.
It wasn't even illegal then, I think.
No, and I think it
I
was.
think they were just like,
Go
put
for
on a
it."
seatbelt. And cars were heavier then too. They
Yeah.
were like real metal. Now they're like aluminum. They fly away. But like these used to be like Ford Broncos like hitting people. They're like, maybe we should drink less. I don't know. Like the way it takes so long to make laws, like it's so crazy. Even alcohol nowadays, like I keep reading these things about like even the smallest drop of alcohol is bad for you. There's no such thing as like moderation for
Yes,
alcohol, apparently.
yes.
Apparently alcohol is like poison. It fucks your system up
Yes.
even a little bit.
Yes.
Like the people are like, oh, you could drink red wine and the tannins are good for your heart. No.
They're
It's
good.
really bad for you.
Yes.
And we don't like it's like cigarettes. Like we found out cigarettes were bad like
Yes.
too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now we have to make the cigarettes like $26 a pack or whatever, but so that people won't use it. You know what I mean? Like it's really
And it still doesn't deter me. I still
it
gotta
doesn't.
smoke.
I'll go into debt.
Yeah.
Are you serious? No way. Smoking is the hardest thing to quit.
Yes, it is.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, what were we even talking about? We were talking about your son having it too good.
No, I mean, like, it just, even in terms of, like, the safety of everything. I mean, I will say that there is a part of me that really...
You got to cut his hair. You got to give him a home haircut and embarrass the shit out of him. Make a little changu on the top of the head, like a big hole on the top of the head, and go, oopsie, like, act like you didn't mean to do that, but truly do it on purpose. That's what you have to do because I know he's
understand
gonna cry. It's gonna hurt you.
Yes.
But it's like spare the rod type of thing and spoil the child.
There's just a part of me that, like, do you think that we are just... There is a part of it that where we might be... I just can't... I don't know. There's a part of me that still... We are a little masochistic, no doubt. Like, I was explaining to one of my friends, like, all the Gen Z and these youngs, like, they live in a very safe world. Like, we were talking about the cars and everything. It was just like, yeah, drunk driving, for sure. But as long as you wear a seatbelt, that's like, you're good. You know, you're gravy. There's so much about our lives that are, when we were young, that were unsafe and unknown. Whereas I think a lot of the younger, like Gen Z and the Gen Alpha, like,
Is that the
everything
next one? Alpha Gen?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't want to be Alpha Generation Beta, by the way.
Just a whole 10 to 15 year span of cucks.
Yeah, I mean, like, yee. But like, there's just so much safety and like so much is built in around harm reduction and like even the way like everyone's like, oh my God, look at these Gen Zs.
Consumer protections.
They're like
no.
they're like drinking Borgs, like where like they're binge drinking, but they're like adding like liquid IV and they're trying to stay safe and like so they don't get roofied. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I still will not pee until like I will hold my pee until it hurts just so that I feel alive. You know what I mean? Like I like that, and like that's like Fight Club energy.
No, that's no. That's fucking kidney stone energy. Okay, you're gonna have something rupture in your urethra, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I feel alive, baby.
Alive!
No, that's not what I mean.
Feel your body.
But yeah, I already see how your son is going to be problematic in the future.
Yeah.
Because he has had it too good.
Too good.
Too good. And you know these people, especially in comedy, these like privileged assholes that come and are very like beautiful, rich, and elitist.
I can't.
This is gonna be your son.
I can't.
Yeah.
I will kill him first.
Before he dishonors your family with privilege.
Yeah. I said it on the internet. I said it here.
Yeah,
I
now it lives forever.
Murder. I will murder.
You hear that, Soul? You're listening to this 10 years later when you're 17 years old and
I
you're
will
about
murder.
to... Yeah, your mom is going to kill you if you ever fucking embarrass her like that ever again. And me, I'll be there to watch.
It's going to be a live stream, bitch. Like,
Yeah. It's going to be slightly less sad than the outrage thing, the selective outrage. All right, folks, that's our episode for this week. Please check out our Patreon. There's bonus episodes. There's pictures. There's videos. There's behind the scenes stuff. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff on there. There's also, we're going to be looking at new merch.
Yes.
So please let us know what kind of merch you like. We really like to get away from like sizes, like T-shirts and stuff like that, because that's just too many things to do. Like we want to do a one size fits all, like a water bottle or like a beanie or something like that, because It's just easier for us to ship out. Anyway, but that's coming to Kim's One Pod. Merch is coming for the Patreon. And please leave us a review. I know we're not a new podcast, but we kind of are a new podcast. So we need people to find us. To Kim's One Pod, Apple reviews, Stitcher, wherever, Spotify, you can do reviews. Please leave us a review. Thank you so much. Check out our YouTubes and TikToks. We're out here. We're out here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.